Thank you. There's a question at the back. Good. There's a question at the back.
Unbelievable.
Go ahead, please. Yes.
Jacqueline Magnay from News Corp Australia, The Australian. Can I just ask about the drug TMZ and whether you're reconsidering the classification of it, given that athletes now can just say, oh, I must have had some contaminated food? And are you going to revisit, say, the...
GMC Sierra es la camioneta. O reciba 1.9% APR en seleccionados modelos Sierra 1500 o dueños actuales y elegibles GMC reciban más de $7,800 de valor total.
the Valieva case, where her evidence was that it was contamination and you ignored that?
Well, I think in the Valieva case, the evidence were that it was not contamination, and the set of evidence was actually very different than the one we're talking now. So I don't think you can make any comparison with that. As far as the statute of TMZ, I mean, our list committee every year reviews the list, and they can always discuss the matter. I don't think at the moment that there's an intention to change the statute there.
Okay, Sean Ingle, just in the second row here. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Sean Ingle, The Guardian. I have two questions. One is more technical and one is more, I guess, political. Technically, I know there's been a lot of talk about having a better passport that would detect steroid doping better, growth hormone, etc., etc. Can you just talk about perhaps where we are with the tools we have for Paris? And related to that, I've been in these halls back from since 2008, and people have said, this will be the cleanest games in history. We've got all these extra tests. In London, famously, I think Seb Coe said it will be the cleanest games in history. It wasn't. Can you say these games here in Paris will be the cleanest games in history?
Maybe if I may address the second part of your question. Our role is not to give the stamp of credibility to every single athlete. It's obvious that you will never eliminate the doping from the sporting landscape. You will always find someone who wants to cheat. The same is with the crimes, with violations. You will not eliminate it from the everydayness. So it's not that now we want to assure that every single athlete is clean. We don't know, actually. It's not our role to do it. Our role to do is to oversee the system, to make sure the system is robust, to make sure that we are using all the existing tools to test athletes and properly, and not to tell you that the game is going to be totally clean and you will not have even one single positive test.
What was the first question, Sean?
Are there tools in place that you've introduced? I remember listening to Brett Clouthier at the AIU last year. We were in Budapest, and he talked about there being a blood steroid passport, which he said would collect markers of steroid doping using blood rather than urine. And he said that would be a very effective tool coming into Paris. And I wondered whether you had noticed that, or whether it's too early, or there's something that can give us confidence. Because what we have here, I think, is a lack of trust, generally, whether it's you and USAID or whether it's the swimmers and the Chinese doping. And what can you say that perhaps can reassure people about the tools you have and the approach you're taking, essentially?
Yeah, I think, generally speaking, I think you by making this question, you see the importance of investing into research. I mean, that's something that is being done permanently. And the passport, which is a very powerful tool, has to evolve, has to be developed, has to get new markers into it. This is all part of the research work and the work that is being done. And there's a lot more, to come. There's a lot of promising things, using new tools like artificial intelligence and things like that, which would allow for a better analysis also of the results you get. So all this is evolving, and I think the system is improving, day by day, but I mean the other side is also improving in the way they are trying to go around the system. So it's why we always claim that it is important that the investment in research be maintained and actually be increased, because that's the only way of keeping up with this kind of situation.
There's a question halfway up on the edge there.
Hi there, thank you. I have two questions. The first question deals with you have to go through certain procedures that you are required to go through, evidentiary procedures, say